Hi, I'm Angie, and you're watching Dante's Vaccination.
You know, I always say on this channel, pay-per-view fights should actually be free. And now the day has come where I'm about to hook you up with an app where you can watch all your pay-per-view events, boxing, UFC, etc. for free. I want to introduce Block TV, the best internet streaming television app out there. They provide over 3,600 channels, including HBO, Cinemax, Showtime, and Stars. They have a massive video on demand library with over 40,000 of the new release movies and the latest TV series. And it also includes DVR. So you're getting all of this for $34.99 a month. And once again, that includes free pay-per-view. So this one right here is a no-brainer, guys, because back in Las Vegas, I was paying damn near $200 a month for my cable. Those days are long gone now. So to get the app, make sure you guys go over to getblocktv.com and put in my promo code and get 30% off your first month. You also get a free month for every friend you refer. The promo code is DBNation. Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? You know, one thing I do respect about Mikey Garcia is usually he's extremely honest when it comes to praising other fighters. Fighters he lost to, even when it comes to fighters that have called him out, like Terence Crawford. Mikey praises them to the highest level because skill recognizes skill. For those of you guys who don't know, Mikey Garcia has lost to both Terence Crawford and Errol Spence. He lost to Terence Crawford in the amateurs, and he lost to Errol Spence in the pros. Now, Terence Crawford has been chasing Mikey Garcia for some years as a pro to no avail, which is why I thought it was a little interesting to hear what Mikey Garcia said when he did a live interview with Eddie Hearn. I'm gonna go ahead and play this clip, and then I'm gonna be back to give you guys my thoughts.
But is it just the stubbornness in you that where people say you're not a welterweight? You're not. I don't think you are a welterweight, and I think you know you're not a welterweight. No. But it's just that
I know I'm not. I know I'm not a welterweight, and you know, I would definitely be better at a lower weight class. You know, like 140 pounds. But I believe that my ability and my talent, and my experience will allow me to compete at the highest level, even at the 147-pound limit against the top guys. And that's why I'm deciding to stay at welterweight, to try to secure big fights where I can show everybody that my talent is much greater than they've ever seen. And I think, you know, we were able to show some of that in our last fight against Jesse Vargas. We fought a tough fight. He's a tough fighter, very determined. He came to win. He was probably the best Jesse Vargas of his career. And I was still able to take control and show that, you know, even though he had height and reach and size advantage, I was able to overcome a lot of that. And I think I can do the same with a lot of the other top welterweights in the division.
Particularly one of those, Manny Pacquiao, obviously not the biggest welterweight. He has got huge wins on his resume at 147 pounds. We know that sort of after that fight there was some talk. We spoke to their guys, and, you know, obviously Saudi were looking at that fight as well. Is that still the standout fight for you in the division? I think the style matchup between you two is outstanding.
Yes, I would love that opportunity to fight Manny. I think styles you know, make fights, and he's not a tall, lanky fighter that can complicate things like Errol Spence did. Errol Spence is a tall fighter who uses the reach very effectively and height, and, you know, he's a southpaw, which always complicates things. Manny's still a southpaw, but he's a lot smaller in size, so he's shorter in height. He doesn't have the reach like some of these other welterweights. So I think that fits much better to get an entertaining fight with me, and I think it just fits right. I mean, I remember sparring with him years ago, and I was able to you know, fight similar in the ways to like the Morales or Marquez, you know, boxing, and we did very well. You know, it was only sparring session, but I felt good. I was able to time. I was able to use my jab effectively, and that's why I think that fight makes the best sense right now, to prove to everybody that I can be a world champion at the welterweight limit.
Obviously, a fight that a lot of people are talking about right now. One guy you have shared the ring with in Errol Spence, the Terence Crawford matchup. I think it's up there. I think you against Manny and Crawford against Spence, two of the best fights pound for pound that could be made right now. Obviously, you've done the 12 rounds of Errol Spence. Do you see him beating Terence Crawford? I'm asking as a fan.
Look, I think that's a very complicated fight for both, because neither one of them has faced another guy that can box effectively, that can use the height and reach, and has great ring generalship, great boxing IQ like themselves. You know, Terence has fought some of the better fighters in the lower divisions, and lately he hasn't really had the challenges. He hasn't really been faced against anybody with top challenge. Errol is a terrific fighter. I think that would be a great matchup. You know, it's hard to pick. It's hard to pick a winner.
If you guys are looking for more great content and a website that covers everything from sports, business, politics, technology, hip-hop, and even more, you need to go over to Rapstream TV.com. The website is ran and owned by Sire. They'll keep you guys updated on everything. So once again, brothers that's out there doing positive things like this are exactly the ones that we need to support. So show that love by checking out RapstreamTV.com. Okay guys, now what you notice in that video is Mikey Garcia, he basically admitted that Terence Crawford is a better fighter than he is. When he talks about Terence Crawford and Errol Spence being the best that each has ever faced, on top of that, when he constantly says he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao because he believes that style is more tailor-made for him. Because Manny Pacquiao is shorter, he doesn't have a reach, and we all know Manny Pacquiao will be far more easier for Mikey Garcia to hit than hitting a Terence Crawford or an Errol Spence, which we just seen. So Mikey Garcia is definitely giving Terence Crawford and Errol Spence their props by being brutally honest. Something else I noticed in this little interview that Eddie Hearn did you guys notice how Eddie, he started off the interview trying to set the tone that Mikey Garcia is too small for 147. And soon as I heard Eddie say that, I said to myself, what is he talking about? Mikey Garcia just went in there and dominated a much, much bigger Jesse Vargas, who had the same size advantage that Errol Spence had over him. And out of everyone that Jesse Vargas faced, Mikey Garcia came the closest to knocking him out. So trying to make that excuse that Mikey Garcia lost to Errol Spence because Errol Spence was so much bigger, that excuse goes out of the window now. Because once Mikey Garcia fights other welterweights and he beats them, that completely proves him losing to Errol had nothing to do with size. The difference from the Errol Spence fight and the Jesse Vargas fight was defense. Mikey could hit Jesse Vargas, but he could not hit Errol Spence. I told you guys on numerous videos right after Mikey Garcia lost to Errol Spence that if Mikey Garcia stays at welterweight and he starts to beat top welterweights or even compete with them, that completely proves that Errol Spence just beat him because he was the better fighter. At the end of the day, it's all about skills. That's the reason why Mikey Garcia was able to fight a bigger Jesse Vargas and dominate him. That's the reason why Floyd Mayweather was fighting guys that were 15 to 20 pounds bigger than him in his late 30s, towards the end of his career. I mean, Mikey Garcia, he even said right after he lost to Errol Spence in the press conference, the post-fight press conference, he said, you know, Errol Spence, he knew how to use his jab effectively. You know, he knew how to be out of range every time I was about to strike. He talked about skill. It's no different than Floyd Mayweather versus Juan Manuel Marquez. Of course, when Floyd fought Marquez, the Floyd Mayweather detractors, they want to all of a sudden say, oh, well, you know, Marquez was too small. And then after Marquez loses to Floyd Mayweather, he turns around and knocks out Manny Pacquiao in the same weight class. Matter of fact, the irony of that situation is I remember Manny Pacquiao was in the dressing room and HBO, they were interviewing him and they asked him, why is he going to do better against Marquez this time? And Manny Pacquiao's answer was, because now I'm bigger, because I've been fighting bigger guys. He was basically trying to say he's going to have the same type of size advantage that people said Floyd Mayweather had, right? And he still ended up getting knocked out. So no, you can't use the too small excuse. And you guys certainly didn't use the too small excuse when Floyd Mayweather was 15 to 20 pounds smaller than Canelo Alvarez, old enough to be Canelo Alvarez's father and still dominated him. We know what time it is. I mean, just think about this for a second. How many fighters do you know in the history of the sport? And how many fighters would you even project will be facing the level of opposition that Floyd Mayweather was facing in his late 30s? Like a Canelo Alvarez at a higher weight class, not only just facing them, but beating them. You're not gonna see too many. I'll close out with one last point when it comes to Mikey Garcia. If Mikey Garcia were to fight Adrian Broner and Robert Easter at welterweight, who would win those fights? We all know Mikey would still win those fights at the welterweight division, right? I'm on to the next one, y'all.
Salute to Dante's Boxing Nation, the best brand in the land, baby. And to all of the DBN family, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce myself. I go by Tank Commander Zulu, and I represent the Real Man movement. I have a new YouTube channel, y'all, and I would like everyone to become a subscriber. On the channel, I deal with positive male enforcement. I deal with combat-connected and trauma-connected PTSD. I deal with the community builders inside of the community and see if they are really representing us or not. I bring on interviewers that represent the community and who have impacted the community in a positive way. So don't forget, and I please invite everyone to subscribe to Tank Commander Zulu and the Real Man movement. Fire in the hole, baby.
Yeah. That's right, I'm back. Listen. When it's tough, I get tougher and won't huff and puff until the bell sounds. After the 12th round, the country's on fire. Some say it's hellbound. My brother wishing he wasn't up in the cell now, but limiting his choices because he felt he was held down.
Make sure you guys show that love, man, and subscribe to my man's new YouTube channel, Issues the Artist. He covers a variety of sports, freestyle verses, and he just dropped a new LP. It's entitled Issues the Anti-Rapper. Issues, he uses his channel and his music to educate, inform, entertain, and promote healthy dialogue amongst people in order to bring about change in our